Why should you care about nuclear weapons? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I realize we're in the middle of a global pandemic right now, and no one wants to think about yet another doomsday scenario, but there are many reasons to care about nuclear weapons, and in this video, I'm going to give you some of the numbers. 1, 76, 13,100, 210,000, 1.5 billion, 1.5 trillion. Now that's a lot of reasons to care about nuclear weapons. I hope you'll stick with me as I explain what these numbers mean. My name is Natasha Bajma, and these are my dogs, Charlie and Luna. We're embarking on the adventure of a lifetime, a 365-day journey across America with my Ford 350 Super Duty pickup truck and a truck camper. But this is no ordinary road trip. This is what happens when a disillusioned nuclear weapons expert, going through a midlife crisis, tries to begin a new career but can't quite get off topic. Radioactive Road Tripping is a travelogue show that documents my transformation from a longtime national security expert to a newbie director, cinematographer, and producer. My name is Dr. Natasha Bajma. I spent my life studying nuclear weapons, understanding why countries want them, and doing my best to help prevent nuclear war. You've probably followed me to learn more about my road trip adventures. Once in a while, I'm going to be talking about the radioactive side of my journey. It doesn't matter to me where you stand on whether we should keep them or try to get rid of them. I just want you to think for a few minutes about whether we want a future with many more nuclear weapons. So why should you care about nuclear weapons? Well, it comes down to a bunch of numbers. You should care about nuclear weapons because they still exist. Now, we've come way down from a peak number of about 70,000 during the 1980s, but there's still a ton of them out there. There are still an estimated 13,100 nuclear weapons around the world. So who has them? Well, Russia and the United States have the largest stockpiles by far, with China in a distant third place. Currently, the United States has an estimated 3,800 nuclear weapons deployed. You should care about nuclear weapons because they're the world's most dangerous weapons. It only takes a small nuclear weapon to destroy an entire city. It's been 76 years since nuclear weapons were used. During World War II, on August 6, 1945, the United States dropped a 20-kiloton nuclear weapon on the Japanese city of Hiroshima, burning it to the ground in a radioactive blast. 3 days later, the United States dropped a second nuclear weapon on the Japanese city of Nagasaki, also destroying the entire city. An estimated 110 to 210,000 people were killed instantly with these two nuclear weapons. That doesn't even include the people who died from radioactive fallout. Today's nuclear weapons are 100 times more powerful than the nuclear weapons that were used on Japan in 1945. To help you understand the impact, here is a visual. This is a graphic representation of a 20-kiloton nuclear weapon detonated in the center of Manhattan. Estimated fatalities caused by the blast exceed 159,000 people. An additional 290,000 plus people were injured in the blast. Again, these numbers do not include the people who would have died from radioactive fallout. In this slide, we see the radioactive fallout coming from Manhattan all the way up north toward Connecticut. Okay, for the sake of imagination, let's say that the current number of nuclear weapons, 13,100, were detonated on cities around the world, causing as many fatalities as were caused in Japan, even though they would be far greater because nuclear weapons are much larger. How many fatalities would we have in total? At least 1.3 billion. Today, 9 countries have nuclear weapons: the United States, Russia, China, India, Pakistan, United Kingdom, France, and North Korea. There are other countries interested in nuclear weapons, including Iran. Think nuclear weapons threats are of the past? Think again. This headline is from July 2021. Some researchers identified sites in China, in the desert in China, where they are building up to 200 silos for missiles that can carry several nuclear weapons each and reach targets within the United States. This is a headline from just in early August, talking about Putin's plans to update and modernize Russia's nuclear arsenal. They are not alone. The United States plans to modernize its nuclear forces, building new nuclear submarines, bombers, and missiles to the tune of $1.5 trillion over the next 30 years. There are many reasons to care about nuclear weapons, but I want to leave you with one thought. What would happen if one of the 9 countries with nuclear weapons were to use just one small nuclear weapon? In 2021, Princeton University ran a simulation in which Russia used a low-yield nuclear weapon, leading to war with NATO and the United States. Within just 5 hours, over 34 million people had died. I look forward to sharing my road trip adventures with you. I hope you'll stick with me with some of these little videos on nuclear weapons along the way. If you want to follow my journey, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to have access to behind-the-scenes content and exclusive merchandise, become a patron at patreon.com/Natasha Bajema.